In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my full, unfiltered thoughts on El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure. This isn't going to be a review of any means. If you want to see my original review, go check out the link in the description. But in this video, I'm just going to be giving my unfiltered, uncut thoughts on this roller coaster. So it all started back in 2017. I rode this thing for the first time, and it absolutely shocked me. It blew me out of the water. The only coaster that this thing even had to compete with was Lightning Rod, which at the time, I only had one ride on it, so it really didn't leave a big impression on me because I didn't remember it very well. And I rode El Toro 4 times, whoa, which is so much more. So El Toro just plopped down at my number 1 spot. You know, not a lot of people got to really ride Lightning Rod unless they rode it slowed down. So it was kind of a popular opinion that El Toro was better than Lightning Rod. So everyone got along with me, and we all went home happy. 2018, the year of Steel Vengeance, happened. I got to ride Steel Vengeance in its opening month. Well, technically not its opening month because I rode it June 1st. But I got to ride this thing pretty fresh when not even a ton of people have ridden it yet. And that thing blew me out of the water. Again, I got blown out of the water 2 years in a row by 2 different roller coasters. And it just shocked the living crap out of me. But I still had El Toro on top, guys. A lot of people called me delusional, but I wasn't having it. I wasn't really happy. I thought El Toro had way stronger airtime. I thought El Toro was a more intense ride. And, you know, I was probably pretty biased towards El Toro because it was really the first elite thing that I could remember that I've ridden. So I was obviously going to be biased towards it. And, you know, I loved the thing unconditionally. Now, this season, I rode a third coaster that just opened my third eye, which was Sky Rush. Go check out my review on Sky Rush because that's one of my proudest reviews ever. But anyways, that thing blew me out of the water. Then the very next day, I come up to ride El Toro. You know, I got 1 day of that intimate, goody airtime, that crazy intimate intensity, and I'm expecting the same thing out of El Toro. And guess what I didn't get? In case you can't tell, I'm pretty disappointed by El Toro in this visit. It's still an absolutely just bonkers ride from start to finish. The drop is unlike anything I've experienced. The drop isn't as aggressive and as strong of airtime as Sky Rush, but it definitely feels like it lasts a little longer. Same with those Camelback hills. They feel like they last longer than Sky Rush's. That Rolling Thunder hill will always be a top 3 airtime moment for me. That thing did not disappoint. The Rolling Thunder hill was just as good as I'd remembered, especially towards the very front and the very back of the train. In the middle, it was fine. But other than the Rolling Thunder hill, a lot of this ride just really disappointed me. It wasn't running as insane. The thing that really, really let me down was the airtime. Now, Sky Rush has these mystery laterals thrown in that you wouldn't really expect until you ride the thing, or unless if you hear someone rave about it like me. And I knew El Toro didn't have a ton of laterals, so I didn't really care about that. The positives were there. I felt some nice positives. I felt a ton of shaking and intensity coming out of this wooden beast because there's just a certain intensity that you're going to get from riding a wooden roller coaster, and I definitely felt that type of intensity. But the intensity that I think was missing was just the aggressiveness and just the strength of the airtime. I felt like Sky Rush's airtime was just a lot stronger. It really disappointed me this time around. I was expecting to be absolutely blown out of the water, and I don't know, I guess I just kind of wasn't. So this coaster is still elite. I'll always believe that this is at least a top 15 coaster in the world, maybe even top 10, but with more and more just insane rides being planned, like DC Rivals is a new addition. There's the Walibi Belgium Hyper coming. I honestly feel like it's going to start falling. And speaking of this coaster falling, I don't think it's aging very well. It was running a little rough on some of the wheel seats that I sat in. I only got one non-wheel seat ride, which was towards the back. And I feel like the back non-wheel seat was smoother than, I think it was like row 4 or like row 6 that I sat in. I don't really know. But this coaster doesn't seem like it's aging very well. It's not anything to like be crazy about. It didn't really take a whole lot away. Just kind of threw me off because I don't remember it being like that the last time I rode. But this coaster still has some of the strongest airtime out there. There was airtime in the middle section. It wasn't anything ridiculous. Also, the airtime, like the little twisted airtime hills at the end, those actually threw me off guard because they were actually a lot better than I remembered. But mainly that drop and those two camelbacks, not even the drop, just the two camelbacks just really threw me off. They weren't as good as I initially remembered, but I'll always love El Toro. I'll always have a special place in my heart, regardless if it rises or jumps or falls way, way low in my rankings, which it's going to stay pretty high up there for now. It is still really, really a fantastic ride. It'll always be one of my favorites that I've ever ridden, unless if it becomes like unbearably rough within the next 5 years, which Six Flags should honestly check up on that. But regardless, this coaster, despite it letting me down a little bit, it is still an absolutely fantastic ride. And I don't really know what else to say, guys. That's just kind of my unfiltered thoughts on the ride. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comment section. Let me know if I should do more of these. There'll be some more content coming from my mini Northeast trip coming up soon. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you all later. Peace out.